society, we want to put people in boxes. We want to categorize people, right? The biggest thing is people questioning other people's identity. I've heard from so many community members, they don't feel safe necessarily coming to AAPI Heritage Month events because they're questioning, why are you here? And then comes the other thing, well, do you speak the language? And so many of us do not.
If you could set the record straight by putting out one big billboard that you wish people understood, what would that say?
I can even remember modeling, and they would often say to me, you need to open your eyes wider when I was smiling because your eyes close too much. You're squinting. It's too tiny, your eyes. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Yep. Welcome back to Big Asian Energy. You know, there's a word that I have noticed making the rounds on the internet lately, and it's trending hard. And that word is Wasian, referring to somebody who is of mixed Asian and white descent. Now, it's not new. The people have been using it since the early 2000s, but for some reason, it's gone viral all over again. In the last couple of weeks, there was a whole story where there was an Icelandic-Chinese musician named Laufey who released a music video and, stacked the cast with white and Asian stars, including, stars like from shows like Rivalry, Olympic figure skater Alysa Liu, actor from The Summer I Turned Pretty. So all of a sudden, this started becoming a topic that we started seeing. And it's fascinating to watch, especially in the Asian American sphere, because it started to bring in the conversation of what does it mean to be mixed? What does that experience seem like? Is that word even okay to say? Because there's some controversy around it. But really, I want to get to the source of, in this day and age where identity, the way we appear, the way others view us, is becoming more and more complicated. Who are we underneath all this, and what does a mixed ethnicity individual find who they are in the layers of this? Now, my guest today has truly lived through all the layers of this and continues to talk to so many different people about this experience. And frankly, I cannot think of somebody who is more of an expert to talk about this. If you are new here, welcome to Big Asian Energy. Each week we go deep with Asian American leaders, change makers, ceiling breakers, and a few troublemakers to actively redefine what it means to break through the ceilings of our own world and make a real impact in our community. As always, if you hear something on this episode that made a difference for you or an impact for you, I want you to do two things for me. Number one, send it to somebody you care about, because that's really what we're here for. As we always say on the show, when we rise together. And number two, if you have an extra few seconds, please leave us a review, because it really helps us amplify Asian American leaders, which is the very mission of this episode. And I met the guest of today's show, by the way, a few days ago or a couple of weeks ago at an event in New York. And ever since I started finding out about her story and the thing that she's doing, the things that she has been working on, I have been so eager to really bring about this conversation. Today, we are talking to Alex Chester-Iwata, who is the founder and CEO of Mixed Asian Media, a publication and community by and for Mixed Asian and Pacific Islanders, and who is also the founder of Mixed Asian Day. What started off originally as Hapa magazine in 2017 grew into a platform that became recognized in the Nielsen Consumer Report on Asian Americans, and her advocacy for the AAPI community has been recognized by Gold House, the National Association of Asian American Professionals, and so much more. But what is so fascinating about Alex is that she built it all on a performance life that goes back for more than 35 years. She started off as a child actor and a model in LA and was the original member of the Grow group that became Diddy's dream, and has worked off of Broadway and off Broadway across television, on TV shows, and so many different things. And I am sure if we get a chance, we can ask her more about that today. That is my spiel. Alex, first and foremost, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Such a lovely intro. I'm absolutely honored to be here.
The honor is absolutely all mine. But before we jump in, I just would love to hear from your own words, how would you describe what it is that you do?
I would say the short version is I'm a community builder, but the long version is I am a founder of a website and community, as you said, for mixed Asian Pacific Islanders. So we do everything from op-ed pieces around the mixed experience to a lot of celebrity interviews. And then we just launched a couple of social clubs, one in DC, one in New York City, where we can have meetups and people can come together and talk about their mixed Asian identity. And then we also host Mixed Asian Day each year, which is a full day of programming from mental health to mixed Asian book authors to panels about media and storytelling and who gets to tell these stories. And then usually like a fun little party. So that's like the long version of what I do. And then I do a lot of non-for-profit work by sitting on a lot of AAPI non-for-profit boards.
Amazing. I mean, you've got so many different titles. You have so many accomplishments. So let's just dive into this because I have been dying to understand this. Okay. So first and foremost, even before the show, I asked you this question, which is, what is up with the term Wasian and is it okay? Can we just start there?
Yes. Okay. So term Wasian, it is not a term that I personally like to use. I don't identify that way. And I think it's important to note because I am Japanese American and Jewish American. And I feel like even though a lot of Jewish Americans are very white presenting, white, people perceive that in the grand scheme of things of United States of Christian America, we will never be seen as quote unquote white. Right. So that for me, I just don't identify with the word Wasian. It's also, I think, divisive because it's not an inclusive term. It really, when people think of Wasian, they think of someone that is Western European and East Asian. And usually it excludes anyone that is Black and Asian, Mexican and Asian, basically you name it. And even I would dare say our brothers and sisters that are Southeast Asian and South Asian, because media has only portrayed Wasians, quote unquote, as white and East Asian. So it's just not an inclusive term to me. And that's something that I dislike. And I also think it's important to note the historical context of the word. It's not just the fact that there's a big old W in front of it, amplifying whiteness. It really is more about media likes to put anything that isn't clear, black or white, in a box. If we don't know what you are, you're ambiguous, or now you're Wasian. It takes away from the full spectrum of their identity. Like it's usually not just, I'm just waspy white, I'm just white. Usually there's history there. Some friends have come over from various countries. They had to escape, the things going on in the political schemes in their countries at the time. So there's so much more history to it than just being, I'm white. So I think it disregards that. And I also think it disregards the complexity of being Asian and Asian American here in the state.
Yeah. I would love to hear a little bit more. You mentioned that this word has history. And I mean, geez, what experience in Asian American experiences doesn't have some kind of history? Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah. So like for me growing up in the 90s, the term Wasian, I swear it was used to describe a white guy who was really into Asian things.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Like, I swear that was the word being used in my elementary school. I tried to look it up because I was like, am I losing my mind? I'm not, but I swear, because I was like, oh God, no, I am not Wasian. But yeah, that was what it was kind of described, or it was used to like demote, like, oh, you're only like part. You're not a whole person. It's never been like a word that's been celebrated, at least when I was growing up. And I also feel that when I grew up with the word hapa, and that's a whole nother thing. So it's just, I think it's important to know like where the word has maybe originated from and, why people have such big feelings about this word. I think it's amazing that community has come together and they're celebrating their mixedness and their identities. And so many people haven't ever seen other folks that look like them. So I think it's a really exciting time for that matter. But I do think it's important to note the word and why the proximity to whiteness and why media loves that proximity. Like if you are, once again, the word ambiguous, if you are white presenting, white passing with some little bit of something, another flavor, media is like, oh, we can get on board with this. We want to uplift this narrative. Look, in a way, it's kind of playing into the model minority myth in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that's the vibe that I get as well. Like there's a little bit of ickiness around I mean, that's just my own personal physical feeling around it, but like there's this attachment as it's easy to sell or market. And
Yes,
when I think about, this type of work, I think Crazy Rich Asians, the movie,
exactly.
featuring our, incredibly sexy, uh, mixed Asian men.
Yeah, he's gorgeous and he's a sweetie.
Yeah.
We interviewed him, but he's not full Asian, and that wasn't the story. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, oh, look, he's marketable because, proximity to whiteness and oh, the white people like this. He'll be comfy with this then. Because especially
Yeah.
then that goes into the whole thing of how so many of our Asian men have been demasculated, and they're saying, oh, well, Asian men are not sexy, which is such, excuse my language, bullshit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Such bullshit.
This is a show in which both swearing and that sentiment is very much echoed all over the place.
And that goes all the way back to the Chinese Exclusionary Act. I mean, it just has this history upon history upon history, and then we get to this word Wasian. And I think a lot of people don't understand the context or know the context because, let's be real, it's not being taught in schools. The stuff isn't being taught. We go online to our TikTok, we go online to our Instagram, and this is where we get our history and our news from. Whether it's true or not is debatable a lot.
Yeah, 100%. So let's see if we could set a record or some records straight here, just so that we can have a little bit more understanding around this. If you could set the record straight by putting out one big billboard that you wish people understood, what would that look like? What would that say?
Don't play into white media stereotypes.
Woo! Say it again for the people in the back. Love it. Okay. Say more.
we don't have to make white Hollywood happy. We can tell our own stories. We can tell amongst our community. Yes, it's awesome to have the visibility, and I love that. But then if we're going to uplift the Wasian narrative, where's my Blasian narrative? Where's my Puerto Asian narrative? Where's all the other narratives that aren't white and East Asian? I want to see those uplifted in mainstream media, and I want to see those stories told too. And also, if you look at so many of these celebrities that are playing these roles now in TV and film, it's like it's lightly touched upon the fact that they're Asian. It's never really dived into their mixedness. I mean, there's a few that TV shows that do, but for the most part, it's very ornamental. It's very surface level. It's more like, oh, look how pretty these people are. And nothing wrong with that. Like, hey, you're beautiful. Yeah. There's so much more to the culture and the heritages, and I hate to see it diminished through this lens. And I think people being excluded from this narrative. I think that's another big thing is you had some of these huge gatherings, which were so cool in a lot of ways, but they were really geared only towards the white Asian groups. And a lot of other groups did feel like they were excluded and couldn't be there and couldn't participate. And there were some weird videos going around TikTok and Instagram where other Wasians were questioning more brown presenting mixed Asians why they were there at the event. So it's like, oh, don't do that. That's icky. Don't do that.
No,
I'm like, no. I mean, I don't play that way. That is just, it's icky.
No. There's enough room for everyone here.
Absolutely.
Right. There's this.
Absolutely. And to me, then also that plays into how we want to, the white media and white Hollywood and the white powers to be like, oh my God, look at this amazing subculture group. It's like doing such, once again, the minority myth. And it really is divisive. It pits people against each other. And isn't that what historically the U.S. wants, is to keep people, minorities down?
Yeah.
So we don't come together and rebel and do good things.
Yeah. Yeah, God forbid that ever happens. One day. So this is a really interesting topic. I want to hear about your own story a little bit. I mean, you ended up being, founding this incredible, magazine and everything like that. But before then, in your own personal journey when you were growing up, what was that experience like?
Oh gosh. Had lots of therapy, which has been
Woo! Shout out! I just want to say, I saw that on your upcoming event, you had a Yellow Chair Collective, who was one of the guests here,
yes,
who's going to be there to give a talk about this. I just want to say I love the folks over there and all that they're doing.
So much.
Linda, all of the people, they're incredible. So thank you for bringing, I think, what is such an important topic of mental health into this conversation, because I do wish more and more of us were aware of it and be involved.
It's vital. I really think it's vital for healing, especially in our communities and just as individuals as well. But
absolutely.
I grew up, started in the entertainment industry at 5 years old, modeling and doing some commercial work and a lot of theater. I ran into quite a bit. You are perfect for modeling, but then when we go to TV film, you just don't fit the narrative. You don't fit the family. We can't have a mixed kid on TV. What? I mean, thank God things have changed, right? Things have definitely changed. But at the time, like, I lost out on so many roles because of that. I was supposed to be, and I'll name it, Even Stevens. I was supposed to be the best friend, one of the leads in Even Stevens. I had a contract drawn up, and then they pulled it from me, saying that I was too exotic next to the white lead and would pull focus.
They used the term exotic. No, they did not. Oh my God.
Up with that term. Everyone.
Wow. Get out of here.
I've been, oh my gosh. So like that happened. And then it just was a trickle down effect. It just kept happening over and over, that narrative. Even followed me through adulthood. I mean, I was auditioning for an off-Broadway play and the character was supposed to speak Japanese, but they knew I didn't. And I was like, okay, well, we'll learn the words. And it didn't even have Japanese in the script, but it said she speaks Japanese to her mother. And they said, oh, just make it up. Just make up the Japanese.
Just make it sound Japanesey. Some random gibberish.
Yeah.
My God.
And, baby Alex back then, I was like in my early 20s, new to New York City. I was like, am I allowed to say no? Because that's another thing. Growing up in the entertainment industry, you are taught to always say yes. And smile and not cause trouble and all those things. And, sure, you want to put me in this very, very Asian-centric outfit. That's not a problem. Wait, that's not even my traditional heritage. Okay. But, Asian. We're just Asian.
We're just generic Asian.
Oh, yeah. And the multiple times I was asked to do an Asian accent. It's like, what does that mean? You know what that means. I'm like, no. Yeah. I don't. And now I've obviously very much pushed back on this narrative and I don't take it.
Thank you.
Yeah, but that is the stuff I dealt with growing up. And I can even remember modeling and I did a lot of Mattel campaigns, which was a lot of fun as a kid. Because you're like, oh my God, I can see all these cool toys before they're coming out. But they would often say to me, you need to open your eyes wider when I was smiling because your eyes close too much. You're squinting. It's too tiny, your eyes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Yep. Okay. Yeah.
I hope things have changed for the kids that are modeling now that are, mixed and Asian American.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I hope it has. If it hasn't, I don't know, like burn it down. That's all I could say. Burn it down. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, this is why I think progress is so important. I mean, I think when we look at the different generations, when we look at how things are moving, and whenever it is that I hear people responding to, let's say, like a protest or activist movements or messages and saying, well, what's the point? We're not going to see change. I always point to like, we've been seeing change, so much change in the past 10, 15, 20 years. We could track eras of it. And yes, we're hoping that it is better. We're hoping that it's going to keep getting better.
We hope.
And it keeps getting better through people doing conversations and having these kind of chats. Like this is where we spread that message.
And then I think
so important.
It's the one wonderful thing now about social media is that you have access to histories that aren't taught in schools now. That we have access to so much more than we did growing up. Like for example, growing up there was like a little blurb about internment camps in my textbooks, right, in elementary school. But
like one
family
paragraph
was interned, and it's just like it was this tiny little blurb. But now, it's much more notable. And granted, this has always been happening. There's always been activists through each generation, but we're so lucky to have social media as a platform to amplify.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, do you mind if I ask a little bit more about that experience that you mentioned that your family intern and everything like that? Was that something you had learned more about from your family from, hearing it from that first
I
experience?
didn't want to talk about it.
Oh, of course.
I did
Yeah,
not
of
want to talk
course.
about it. My dad, who's
Yeah.
the Japanese one, really tried to document as much as he could, but they really, nope, that was bad. It was a bad time. We don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And it was just such a shame because so much of that history has been lost with the passing of all the elders.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my family was like, nope, we don't talk about it. It was a bad time.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a closed chapter. And honestly, I really honor that. I think that it is not any particular person's responsibility to carry that. And I think it's important to respect that. Did you end up doing your own kind of exploration and research? What was your journey of kind of seeking your identity?
Oh gosh, that's a great question. Therapy has really helped, like I said before. And starting to realize, like, finding my community has really been part of my journey as for my
Uh-huh.
identity.
Uh-huh.
Meeting all these amazing,
Amazing. I love that term, by the way. Let's just coin it. Yeah, coin today on the show. Amazians.
mixed Asians that in
Yeah.
New York City who were going through identity struggles similar to mine, finding that community to talk about it and finding
Mhm.
that community to build something upon that for a wider audience.
Mhm.
Really, I swear to God, mixed Asian media really helped me with my identity and feel okay with myself and know
Mhm.
that I am enough and I'm a whole person. Um,
Mm.
that's what really helped me because you're going as an actor, you're going into audition rooms after audition rooms, and you're hearing things about your appearance nonstop. You're being told you're not enough
Oof.
nonstop, and it really does fuck with your head, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
And I just got to the point where I was like, this is such bullshit.
Yeah.
It's such bullshit. I don't buy into this anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think finding the community and finding my voice and realizing I
Mhm.
can say no and say, that's not okay. You can't say that to me.
Mhm.
You can't call me
Mhm.
exotic in the room.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah. And this is what collective power has, that strength, right? We
Exactly.
give each other that permission when we stand up, then other people see that modeling and knows that they can also stand up. Like, what a powerful thing.
Exactly.
And I know that, that experience that you took from that and find that community, was that something that led into the creation of the magazine and all these things?
It
Tell
did.
me more about that.
So, a group of us were doing the Artist's Way. If you're familiar with that,
I love the Artist Way.
Artist's Way.
Shout out Morning Pages.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Yeah, I did that for a year. Very helpful when you're a writer.
Very helpful. Very helpful. So, and that is what led me to come up with the idea of Hoppa Mag.
Uh-huh.
It was a bunch of us who are mixed Asian doing this, and I was just like,
Yeah.
and I was looking at, at the time I had my own blog that I was writing, and then I started writing for HuffPo and Manhattan
Uh-huh.
Digest, and was writing under Swirl Nation blog, which was a mixed group. But it was very through the black and white lens, which is incredibly valid and amazing, but there wasn't really anything specific for the mixed Asian experience. And then I was looking online at like Mochi Mag and some of the other ones like Banana Mag, Slanted, Hyphen. And there wasn't, again, nothing very specific towards this narrative. So I was like, what if we had our own online magazine?
Hells yeah.
Yeah. So I literally brought this idea to my friends and they were all like, that's a great idea. They probably regret this now. Pretty sure they regret this now. Almost 10 years later, they're probably like, God, what did we do? So much work. But yeah, and we started as a quarterly online magazine. We had articles of everything and anything you can imagine, and we still do. And then we rebranded in 2021. We were getting as we should, we got some pushback on the word Hapa because it's, it's an indigenous Hawaiian term, which did come about because of the colonization of Hawaii. And it's a very much a West Coast term.
It was a term created. I apologize for my own ignorance around it. So it was created by the colonizers to refer to.
It was created by the indigenous Hawaiians to refer to the children of the colonizers.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
and the Hawaiians.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. So Hapa Haole is the full term, which literally means part foreigner.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So there's that whole history to unpack. And while I love the term Hapa, I think it rolls off the tongue. So it's just so lovely. Like I'm not Indigenous Hawaiian.
Yeah.
So there, some
Right. Yeah.
some friends who are Indigenous are like, yes, use the word. Our language is dying. More people need to use our language. But a lot of people are like, no, you're not Hawaiian. And you in turn are
Right.
then like taking away our language from us. So we really wanted to be
Right.
respectful of that. And we also realized, our Southeast Asian brothers and sisters, they don't identify with the word Hapa. And we wanted to be
Sure.
inclusive
Yeah.
of that. So mixed
Yeah.
Asian media it was.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And I started going through actually some of your past magazine articles. And by the way, I just want to point out, people can go online, and if you're online, if you're next to a phone or something like that, you can go to mixedasianmedia.com and you can actually go and read past articles that date all the way back. Some of them are really good reads. I mean, the writers are incredible. There's such deep stories around it. And as a mission, there's events and I just go online, go to the website, go learn for yourself. There's a lot to dig through there. So I just want to give you a little shout out for that.
Yeah, we have a lot of content. We were like, oh my God, we have 10 years worth of content. Almost 10. Next year will be 10. So we're like, oh my gosh, we're actually trying to figure out the best way to house all this content because Squarespace isn't, sorry, Squarespace, but you're not the friendly.
Squarespace is not a sponsor of this episode of Big Asian Energy, so it's not a problem.
Some things.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. Hey, I just wanted to let you know that Big Asian Energy is officially out, and you can go and pick it up anywhere you buy books, Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, etc. If you've ever felt like there's something stopping you from reaching your full potential, if you've ever felt like you want to have that unstoppable charisma and confidence in the work that you do, as well as just the way you show up in life, this might be the book for you. It is a book that is jam-packed with research studies, advice, case studies, stories, and of course, so many different techniques and takeaways, including communication, as well as mindset, as well as confidence, and all the other topics out there. It just won one of the best books of 2025 on Amazon. So if you haven't checked it out yet, go take a look. And finally, if you have a few seconds, can I also ask you to leave a quick review for Big Asian Energy? It not only means the world to us to hear from you, but more importantly, it does absolutely help us in reaching more audiences. I hope you're having an amazing day, and thanks again. So as I was going through it, one of the things that showed up for me was as you've overseen all of these different stories, storytelling experiences, narratives are sweat, blood, and tears of people who are witnessing and documenting this cultural experience. Have you noticed a shift in what kind of stories are showing up?
Good question. I wish I was seeing a shift. I think there's still very much the need for people to tell their story of not belonging, and that is something that we've all had to discuss because I live, breathe, eat the mixed Asian experience. My husband's mixed Asian, my best friends are mixed Asian. It just came about that way. So I'm very privileged in the fact that I'm like, oh, we don't need to talk about again. We don't need to talk about like another. Oh, am I allowed to wear this traditional, kimono or hanbok? And even though I'm only part, it's like, but no, we do. We absolutely do need to keep telling these stories because the hope is that someone will eventually get to the point where they're very comfortable and inundated kind of like me in the culture and where they're just like, oh yeah, I can do whatever I want. No one can tell me what to do with my identity. But that's the problem is that there are so many mixed Asians who have never been around a community like this, that don't have access to in-person meetups. And all they do see is what is posted online. So we do need to keep telling kind of this, not the same, but similar stories over and over because they are vital to the narrative and to hope. So I wish I could say there's been like this shift of suddenly people are writing like, I belong, I'm confident, and I carry all my heritages. And while, yes, that is some of the storytelling, it's still very much as the, I am white presenting, or I'm white passing, or I'm Black and Asian, and I experience all this terrible racism from both sides. You know what I mean? Like, and just in general as an overview. So it's really important to keep telling kind of, I don't want to say the same stories. That sounds like I'm diminishing the experience because I'm not. It's just that.
Not at all.
Yeah. It's so, I wish I could say I'm seeing like a trend where it's different or shifted, but it's really kind of the same in a lot of ways.
Yeah. And I mean, I just want to say the reasons cliches are cliches is because they hold such deeper truth, right? If we take a look at any piece of literature, as you read through Shakespeare all the way through the Avengers and all the various different types across different cultures, what binds us and what has always connected us that shows up time and time again are the deepest truth of, I think, what it means to be human
Right.
beings.
Right. Yes.
Um,
Absolutely.
I
Right. Oh, I
I
sorry. Hey.
love that you brought up the term belonging because, and I want to give you, I want to ask a lot more about that
Yeah.
because it is living on my wall.
I love that.
Because I think that it is the foundational point without the feeling of belonging, which really is safety and lovability, right? Like when we feel we
Absolutely.
belong. That foundation gives us the courage to step out and do our best work and to shine and to create, because I think that's what we're here to do. And so let's dive into that. What has been, or what have you heard often as a belonging struggle for those who are from mixed heritage, mixed race, mixed backgrounds?
Yeah, absolutely. I also think this all then ties back into the work term Wasian and the Wasian experience is that the need for belonging, but also people often feel that in order to belong, they need to exclude others, right? In a lot of ways.
Okay, I'm gonna let that drop because that was really beautifully stated.
Yeah.
The idea of belonging, a misconception that people hold of belonging and their expectation that belonging comes from exclusion. But it's true. We are blank because we are not blank. So anyone who is outside of this identity.
Which to me just goes back to the whole proximity to whiteness and all of that.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
There is room at the table. So I'm sorry, I did not mean to pivot slightly, but
No. That was beautifully said and important to state it. Okay, please continue.
So could you mind repeating the question?
Yeah, so I think when I think about the term belonging and its experience around mixed Asians, or really any but a mixed person, is that it is a strange thing. You grow up and you don't have that same in-grouping based on how you look. That's so simple as, I'm going to use the word black and white here, but right, as black and white, right? Like a lot of times I think about it, it's like, oh, okay, I'm not white. That's fine. I have quote unquote my people. And then for those who are from mixed backgrounds, what have you heard to be the most common kind of experiences, struggles, or deeper pains that we may not be aware of?
Often I have heard is that people feel alienated and picked apart because often their identity, their heritages are scrutinized, or they're told, oh, you don't look Asian, or you don't look XYZ, or aren't you this? I thought you were this. And that comes from close friends. It comes from other people within a community that you think you're part of. I mean, I've sadly heard that from a lot of monoracial Asian Americans.
Yep.
I thought it great.
Which let's just give a quick shout out to let's just quick say, if you're somebody who does this, stop.
Yeah.
Take a moment, reflect, think deeply. And if you're witnessing it, the act of speaking up is an act of love.
Yeah.
It's an act of love for the person that you are sharing this information with and, the person, of course, that it impacts. Yeah.
Yes. And I think it's just that we as a society, we want to put people in boxes. We want to categorize people, right? And if we can't categorize them, our wires get crossfired and we're like, wait, what? I can't understand this. How can this exist when I very much see everything as this and this? But really that's the biggest thing is people questioning other people's identity, the question why are they there at events. I mean, honestly, that is why I've heard from so many community members they don't feel safe necessarily coming to AAPI Heritage Month events because they're questioned, why are you here? You're not Asian. You're not. And then well, you don't look it. And then comes the other thing. Well, do you speak the language? And so many of us do not, whether it's because we're multi-generations here in the States and it's just been lost, or it's because the family wanted you to assimilate and not learn the language. There are so many reasons why. So that also comes of it. I think there's the guilt of not knowing the language, maybe being so far removed from the culture that you were a part of. And I think that people just try to box you into something that you're not necessarily instead of making space, instead of just being curious. And, I don't mind when people ask me about my identity when it comes from a place of curiosity and respect. It's when it's judgmental is when I have issue.
Has there ever been experiences or stories you can think of in which that has come up, where that difference between judgment versus, or that it feels more judgmental?
Yeah, I would say. Oh gosh, I've had so many.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for bringing this up now.
It's hard, judgmental. I mean, a lot of it had to do when I was auditioning and I was an actor.
Oh gosh, of course, yeah.
Calls, like literally casting directors fighting with me about my identity. First of all, it's illegal to ask what you are. It's illegal. They're not allowed to ask what you are, but they do.
Good note.
And you have to say yes, or I did back then. And then I would tell them, they're like, well, you don't look that. Are you sure you're not? Okay. I had a pre-read for Memoirs of a Geisha, a pre-read. And the casting director was like, what are you? And, you're so exotic. What are you? And I was like, oh, I'm half Japanese. Yeah, there's that word, my favorite word. And I'm half Japanese. She goes, are you sure? You look Siberian. I think you're Siberian. And I said,
what the what? Who asks that?
Yeah. Siberia is a place. And while, yes, there is a lot of, millions of years ago, populations going all over, especially Russia is really big. And
yep, huge.
Can go in, that's a whole nother discussion. But I was like, that's a place. And, I'm half Japanese. So did not book that, obviously.
Wow, yeah. Probably a good thing.
So things like that. Or just when I'm in spaces now, people, fortunately, I'm very vocal and I try to take up space, which is something I wasn't about to do. I'm very vocal about my identity. People kind of know that, oh, there's Alex, she runs Mixed Asia Media. So it's rare now that I have people being like, no, you're not that. But strangers sometimes, I still get, especially in New York City, people were wild, man. I've had men chase after me, asking me what I am because I'm like, your mama is so pretty. What are you?
Oh God. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just getting all the ick over here. How are you? Thank you for taking that for all of humanity. And I'm sorry.
I mean, I have a lot of privilege looking the way I look. Between the anti-Semitism hate, between the AAPI hate, I know I don't present either spectrums, right? Yeah. And so because of that, I'm very fortunate that I have not necessarily experienced that firsthand or as blatantly as others have or dangerously. But as a exotic woman, that's its own little baggage.
Yeah. Yeah. You've experienced more than your deserved share, that's for sure. Oh my goodness.
But I try to be vocal about it. I try to talk to people and I definitely sometimes I get angry and I probably one day I'm gonna get stabbed, I swear to God. Especially in New York City. Be careful. Don't shout back like I do. It's not good. But I definitely, if I feel safe, if it's a safe-ish environment, I will be like, okay, why do you feel that you can question my identity that way when it's something I've told you this is what I am? What makes you think that you have a right to do that? And I'm not trying to be an asshole, but you questioning me is being an asshole. So.
Yeah, walk me through the logic, or actually we don't need to open that box. I don't think
but let's work through this together. Yeah. This can be a teachable moment. So people are open to it, and sometimes people get defensive, and they're like, "Oh, I just wanted to I just thought that you looked this way. Why don't get so angry?" It's like, okay, well, you know when to talk.
Yeah, it's the presumption and judgment, not the curiosity, that is at the floor of it, right? It's the projection of their own internal stories, and their comfort levels with their own internal stories, as opposed to just reality. Okay, so I know we just talked about you've been through all the most obvious questions, but I feel like this is something I'm picturing the listener who's at the other end of this, who hasn't encountered your work, who hasn't gotten that experience. Because I do hear from my friends who are mixed Asian who would tell me, hey, I want to check in. Is this cultural appropriation? And I go,
Yeah.
you can't appropriate your culture.
You can't.
So can we just clear up all of that? Can we just give out some permission slips right now? What would be the top three?
Oh, guys,
Top three you've heard. Top three topics.
Can't appropriate your culture. It's your culture.
Yes, you can wear the thing. Yes, you can. You don't need to speak the
okay.
language, eat the food,
gosh. I had this,
do the dance.
Oh, I had someone slide into my DMs, and they were asking, is it okay if they post about themselves going to Japan, even though they're half Japanese, and that they don't want their friends or people to just judge them as another, like, quote unquote white person going to Japan? And I was like, honey, live your life. This is your culture. Go and enjoy. Yeah. And also, you have the privilege that you can travel. Do it.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. I was like, do not care what outsiders may perceive and judge you by. Like, are you respectful? Are you, when you're there, are you learning? Are you enjoying yourself? Then great. I mean, I would hope you're not, like, throwing trash everywhere and being a terrible American,
No.
But, like, no,
keep it quiet in the subways.
My heart that someone, like, was like, what do you think, Alex? Is this okay? Yeah. Like, I go, and I'm like, duh, go.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes. Embrace your culture. Like, you are not half, you are full. And even for my quarter babies, like, you're whatever. Embrace your heritage. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Love it. Yes. If there was an applause button, I will be smashing it right now. I'm just going to say that. Yeah. That was an important thing. I do, because I do think that there's a lot of this type of discussion. Like, even myself, right? Like, when I think about what the next few generations are going to look like, right? Like, I think about, my wife is Canadian. She is white. She's a white lady in Canada. And I wonder about that. And the first question I wonder about is, how do we make the world, I would say, understand this better, to make it easier, to make the lives of the people you impact, your community, our community, all of our community? How do we navigate this? Because we're seeing, more and more immigrants. And as a result, we're also seeing more and more people who might have that kind of gatekeepy energy around their cultural identity. How do we better teach or communicate the importance of this?
Absolutely. I think it comes down to AAPI or any organization that are especially serving the majority population, as I like to call it.
Yep.
Leading by example. They shouldn't gatekeep. If they're gatekeeping, obviously, then everyone else is going to follow suit. We look to our leaders. We look to people that are in positions of power. So if we see them gatekeeping, then why wouldn't smaller communities follow suit and follow that? So I think it's really important that we, as just in general, as a community, especially a community of color, we uplift each other, we share resources, we support each other's events, we buy each other's products. Like, you don't even buy that chili oil that's in Target that's not by a Asian maker. Like, support your local brands. Just do that. I realize that sometimes it's easier, but it's not that much more difficult to look online and find something else that is close by. And
it's almost always better.
It's always
like, the quality is almost always so different. I didn't understand this until I started shopping at my local, grocers.
Yeah.
Completely different experience. I'm like, wow, is this what food is supposed to taste like? Is this what, kimchi is supposed to taste like? Right. I was shocked.
Yeah, don't buy that.
I was shocked.
Kimchi. That is not.
Yes. Complete. Like, oh my gosh. Like, this is what flavor tastes like. It's amazing.
Exactly.
Okay.
This is I think it's as simple as that, is that we support each other, and we buy from each other, and we go to each other's plays, and we support each other's films and books and all those things. Because if white people can do it, why can't we?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. And I think this is why it is that these kind of stories, and I think books in particular, I'm a book lover. I mean, obviously I write, so I'm a big book lover, because you get to find out and dive deeper into the stories. Are there any books that you recommend or that you have read that you really love that you want to talk about or share?
Oh gosh, I love Halfway There, which is by Christine Murray. It's a comic book, but it's about her experience being Hafu, half Japanese. And it's really thoughtful and beautiful. And she has a sequel. She has 2 books out. She also has an incredible Instagram and she posts her comics there. She's one of my favorites. Oh my gosh, there's so many. Okay, because I'm terrible at names, I'm going to just say, if you go to Mixed Asia Media, we have a bookshop. And on that bookshop, it's like bookshop.org. We have a list of all these mixed Asian authors and all their works. And it's good stuff. So I would say go on there and you're going to...
We'll put the link.
Yeah, it's fabulous. Yeah, but that's the first one that comes to mind. But I have so many friends that have written such incredible pieces or plays and films. And I really do my best to try to support those works and
Absolutely. Yeah. And so what about, that's my next question. What about other films of media, especially given your background? Yeah. Are there plays or movies or TV shows, films that we can explore to understand it better?
Oh gosh. Lauren Nanako Winkler has a series of plays. And I think you can buy them at, is Samuel French still a thing? God, I'm showing my age with that. That's really good buy plays. I know here in New York City, we have like a Broadway shop that has all the plays published and stuff, but she has a really amazing series that explores her family dynamic of being a half Japanese and in the South. So it's really interesting.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There's also, I love the play Viet Gone. There's Natalie Erica James is an incredible director and writer, and she is from Australia, but she writes movies and she's mixed Asian, and she has one out now with Midori Francis, and and another mixie, so it's really cool. Shout out to Zach Pfizer, who's starring in Maybe Happy Ending right now, and he's mixed Asian. Telly Leong, who's full Asian, but he's one of the first Asian American phantoms in Masquerade off Broadway, which is phenomenal. There's a lot. They're out there. Everyone's out there. And everyone's searchable online. You'll find us. People, you'll find us.
Amazing. Before we kind of close this off, I really want to hear about your early experience. Tell me about what it was like with Dreams. What was that experience like?
Oh God, Dream. It was a really awful experience. Absolutely horrible.
Oh, no.
I have to say the music industry is one of the most horrific industries in the entertainment field. It just is. It is all about body image. It is all, of course it is. And it was really, I think, difficult on me as a preteen, early teenager.
Yeah.
So because I was the only ethnic person in the group, they really wanted to amplify that and push the China doll narrative on me.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
I need a shower after this conversation.
Yeah. So they made me dye my hair black, and I had dark brown hair back then, but black, very China doll type of black hair, just very stereotypical.
Yeah.
And they put me, I'm not Chinese, but they put me in traditional Chinese garb.
Oh no.
Oh yes. And that's how they would parade us around to audition for various music producers and stuff, and P. Diddy himself. And
were any of these involved? Did he get involved in any of these decision-making processes?
I met him twice, and it was to sing for him with the girls when we came to New York City, and then we ate at his restaurant. And that was actually the first meal we had in 48 hours because they wouldn't beat us.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, we were 13, 14, 15 years old. We were little babies. So that was an experience. It was an
experience, yeah. And colored interestingly now looking back, given more recent discoveries and events.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. I definitely dodged a bullet, but also dodged a bullet. It was not a good experience, but I definitely learned a lot of, I think looking back now as an adult, I can go, oh, we'll never let anyone treat me that way again. Definitely would.
Of course.
So things like that. But that was Yeah, that was another thing people used to love to call me when I was growing up was a China doll. Oh, you're just a cute little China doll. You're
Oh
such a little
God, yeah.
China doll. I'm like, I'm not
Yeah.
Chinese.
I'm not sure. This is completely different culture. Completely different.
Guys.
Yeah. There's some basic geographical understanding that you need to take a look at. Oh my gosh. This is so amazing. I want to point out something. Earlier today, we talked about the idea of belonging, and I think belonging is all about community. I love physical events, and I believe you folks have some incredible ones coming up. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah. So we have a Pride event coming up on June 13th, which will be at Sour Mouse, which is another Asian run party
Mm-hmm.
space in Lower East Side. We are partnering with NEREC, Lika Labs, Malaysian March, and obviously Mixed Asian Media. And we are
Mm-hmm.
going to have a celebration. There will be performances, there will be go-go dancers, there will be DJs, and it's all for our LGBTQ plus IA mixed AAPI community.
Amazing. So exciting.
Yeah, we're really excited about that one. And then we have our social clubs up and running. We have one in DC. We have one here in New York City. So the next meet up after June will probably be in July. We'll probably do a cute little picnic or something. And then in September, we have Mixed Asian Day, which will be in San Diego this year. And I'm excited we're going to be partnering with Golden Guide and Yellow Chair Collective again.
Yeah, very exciting. I checked out the lineup. It looks spectacular. Alex, thank you so much for the work that you do on the show. One of the mottos that we have is when we rise together. And one thing I always love celebrating is seeing creators like yourself and the way that you truly help those others around you rise. So thank you for helping us all.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It gives me life.
We're all here to experience it all together. And once again, the main narrative and the main reason, the purpose of the mission of the show has always been to elevate our community in however way we can. If there's something that Alex has shared today on the show that you felt like spoke to you, or you might know somebody in your life who would benefit from finding out more, take a moment and send the show to them so that they can also discover it and join our community. As always, on Big Asian Energy, we appreciate you, love you. You belong here. Until next time.